What's going on, guys? Austin here, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at 5 Minute Fantasy's mid-season NFL awards. So here, first things first, we got the MVP. I got Ben Roethlisberger. It's going to be kind of contentious. He's not on pace for a large amount of yards, but what he is doing is he is on pace for his best passer rating season ever and his best completion percentage season ever. He's got an 18-4 touchdown to interception ratio, which is a fantastic record, especially considering a quarterback of his age and his skill set. But obviously, the biggest reason is last year at this time in 2019, without Ben Roethlisberger, or rather with Ben Roethlisberger only playing one game, they were 4-4. This year they're 8-0 and they look poised to go on a run. I realistically see the Steelers going 15-1, at worst 14-2, at best 16-0. So I think Ben Roethlisberger, as of right now and projected, takes home the MVP. My non-quarterback MVP, right now it's going to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry isn't the most productive running back in the NFL. Right now that's Dalvin Cook. However, their team is doing much worse right now. The Vikings are than the Tennessee Titans. So I'm going to have Derrick Henry take this spot because everything that Tennessee does revolves around him. If he has a bad game, chances are that Ryan Tannehill ends up having a bad game too, and it's hard for them to win when they both have a bad game. One of the two losses came against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he only had 75 yards and a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill did as well as he could be expected against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But when Derrick Henry plays well, they win. When Derrick Henry doesn't play well, they don't. And luckily for them, most of the time, they play well. You can take a look at his stats right here. They're pretty great stats. 115 total yards a game. 108 of those are rushing yards. So, just absolutely dominating on the running game. My defensive player of the year right now, I have a three-way tie. As you'll see, it's between Aaron Donald, Jair Alexander, and Myles Garrett. Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett, they're very similar in many statistical categories. Right now, Aaron Donald is slightly ahead in a few of them. I would lean Aaron Donald between those two linemen right now, just because he plays on the interior defensive line. So his production is more impressive. It's more valuable. And the defense that he's on is producing more because of him than Myles Garrett's is. But Jair Alexander, you see, he's the number one cornerback. He's had to face guys like, Mike Evans, Adam Thielen, Kenny Golladay, Allen Robinson, really, really great receivers. Emmanuel Sanders when they played the Saints because Michael Thomas was out. He's only been targeted 35 times, which, the less targets that you have as a cornerback, the more respect that their quarterback is showing you. He's given up only 176 total yards in 8 games, which is amazing considering the guys he's covered. He has 1 interception, and he took it to the house. He's surrendered a 68 quarterback rating. So right now it's a three-way tie between these guys. If I had to guess, I'd say Aaron Donald is on pace to win his third, but we'll see. My offensive player of the year is Dalvin Cook. So right now, Dalvin Cook leads the NFL in rushing yards, in total yards per game, in total touchdowns, and I believe in total first downs. It's absolute dominance. You see, he's got more yards rushing than Derrick Henry does rushing and receiving, and Dalvin Cook, to his credit, is also he's an excellent receiving back. Clearly a top 6 receiving back in the lead. He's averaging 5.6 yards per touch. That's 5.0 yards per rush as well, I think. 13 touchdowns, which by far leads the NFL. The next place, I believe, is Derrick Henry at 8. So, just complete statistical dominance. He's looking sort of like Christian McCaffrey did last year. My comeback player of the year, I've got Ben Roethlisberger. He only played 95 total snaps. That's not even 95 passes, just 95 total snaps last season. He tore 3 tendons in his elbow. And then you can see what he's on pace for right there, which is it's pretty impressive considering that his throwing arm just, was just tore and then repaired. Like you see there, they're on pace for a potential 14 to 16 win season. I had previously said that if Alex Smith played a single snap of football this season, that he deserves Comeback Player of the Year. And if either one of these guys end up getting the award, I will be very happy for them. I believe that if Alex Smith continues to stay the starter and even puts together, any sort of mild success this season, it could quickly shift his way, especially if Ben Roethlisberger maintains his MVP status right now. He should be at least top 5 on every board, if not top 3. So yeah. And then right now, for Defensive Rookie of the Year, I've still got Chase Young. There's some rookies out in Tampa Bay, like Winfield or the safety down in Carolina that are producing really well. But right now, Chase Young, he still looks to be the best rookie. He's playing on a relatively empty defense. Him and Ryan Kerrigan are there, but Ryan's definitely not what he used to be back in 2017. Take a look at his stats. Obviously, nothing fantastic compared to his Defensive Player of the Year contemporaries, but these are impressive stats nonetheless. And then my Offensive Rookie of the Year, I've got Justin Herbert. I know a lot of talk right now is going to Joe Burrow, but you want to take a look at Joe Burrow's stats. I believe Joe Burrow has 13 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. It's Justin Herbert's efficiency and statistical dominance that are doing it for me. I think right now they're on pretty similar teams in terms of offensive weaponry. Maybe the receiver talent is a little bit better on the Chargers team, but I also think that the Bengals have a much better running back in Joe Mixon right now than whoever's starting for Los Angeles. You could talk about guys like T. Higgins, a wide receiver in Cincinnati. You could talk about Justin Jefferson, the receiver up in Minnesota. But right now, the Offensive Rookie of the Year is Justin Herbert. 307 passing yards a game. That's amazing. 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions halfway through the season. That's incredible. He's on pace for 34 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. 67% completion percentage, quarterback rating over 104, as well as 25 rushing yards per game, 24 rushing yards per game, and 2 touchdowns. So I don't expect that race to be close. I think Justin Herbert should win it running away. And then my Coach of the Year is Mike Tomlin. I thought Mike Tomlin should have won it last year, and I'm going to double down. I think he should win it this year. So far, he's undefeated through 8 games, obviously. He's got the 3rd best point differential in the NFL. You can see all these stats. The reason I thought he should have won it last year is because, you see what happens to teams when they lose their quarterbacks. In Green Bay a couple years ago, they only ended up winning 6 games. In who lost their quarterback last year? Detroit. Detroit lost their quarterback last year. Only ended up winning 3 games. They went 3-12-1, I think. It's not great. Last year, Mike Tomlin lost his quarterback. He goes 8-8, gets his quarterback back, and he's on pace for an undefeated season. That's why I think that Mike Tomlin should be the Coach of the Year. I want to thank you guys for listening. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date on all of our future content.